Hey,
Hmm?
hello?
Yeah.
Can we get food? I want Taco Bell. Hello?
So it's about so it's about 10, 11 at night time. I did not start on any UI UX yet, so I'm gonna end the day off watching a couple of these design videos I found. Once I'm done with the videos, I'll go ahead and recap you guys what I learned, show you guys some cool resources, and yeah. Tell us what you did. Hello, Boba. Hello, Boba. Hey guys. So I watched a whole bunch of UI UX videos yesterday. To summarize, we need something catchy. I don't like the name we currently have, Recaller, so we're gonna have to brainstorm on what we want to call it. Yesterday we had an idea of using a cat as our first mascot for this project, since there's a lot of cats in this house. We also did set up the repository yesterday. My brother is asleep, but I'm waiting for him to wake up so he can explain it to you. But yeah, that's where we're currently at. So what did you do yesterday?
What did I do today?
Yes.
So basically, what I did yesterday. Oh, wait. What I did today, I set up our repo. Repo is basically a mono repo. And aside from building the mono repo, I got a bunch of documentation set up for everyone to read. Pictures. Okay. So I also made the CI/CD pipeline. It's automated and works with Claude, so Claude checks its own work. That's basically it. I ran out of tokens, so I stopped.
I forgot what that workflow style is called, but it's when you tag a certain commit, it promotes it to the next environment.
Like a hierarchy?
It just makes the workflow easier, and if Claude is able to do that, it could push things into QA and into production.
Okay.
But we don't have to figure that out.
Is this the sour smell? Smell it.
No. You know, we also need to figure out. We need to figure out features and sprints. You need to figure out what features we want to build first. I'm still building out the UI UX guideline stuff and making a checklist. We also need to come up with a new name and a mascot.
Not recolor anymore? There should be a time lapse of us just thinking of a name. Boom!
Okay, we need to officially come up with a name today. Because the UI UX, the agent I'm talking to, is trying to find cool ideas around our name, like slogans and taglines. The mascot is a cat. Identity in mind: cozy, mature, playful, slightly judgy cat energy, personal, steady space. I was thinking about this. If you get on a hot streak, the cat starts celebrating a little. And then if you get on a bad one, it starts looking grumpy. Yeah?
That's good. They're probably the best names.
Study with miso. Miru? Premium Japanese name. Cat eyes.
Oh, miso sounds like good food.
It is a soup. Miso soup. Cadence. Space repetition is literally about cadence, the rhythm of reviewing at the right intervals. Keeping a rhythm of reviewing.
Yeah, cadence, but like wordplay. Because there's already an app called Cadence already.
Oh, Katzens. Katzens. That's a good one. Katzens is the best name you've suggested so far, and it came from you, not a list. That matters. It does. Katzens. Alright.
Let's get the camera and tell them when we figure it out.
Okay, we just came up with a name. What did we go with? Katzens. Alright, right now we're currently configuring our Claude MD root file and adding some skills to our repository. Right now, we decided that we wanted to go with a red-green test-driven workflow. The main reason is that we expect this code base to get insanely huge and we don't want any features to break while we are still in development. Also, since we're going to have multiple people committing, we don't want to have anybody really break anything. After doing that, we just had a conversation with Claude where we want to keep everything organized code-wise. Yeah. Since there's going to be a lot of vibe coding here, we're making sure that Claude is going to be leaving very useful comments for us, and it's going to structure every component and file in a human-readable manner so that we can actually debug stuff ourselves and use our eyes and stuff, you know. Okay, look, we have to go through like what it just told us to update our MD because we're not too sure if it's human readable for us. We'll end up looking something like this. That's a JS doc. So it's saying that it's going to write a JS doc on every header. Mm-hmm. Every function gets a JS block. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Branch statements always get a commit. A comment? Yep. A lot of comments. See, this is pretty good stuff. I like talking to Claude in this big screen. We gotta figure out how to get this in my terminal too. See, look, I have Claude, the client, and I have Claude in the terminal, my VS Code, but it's as a client though. But I want to keep this conversation. You can. There's a way to do it. See, this conversation comes from here. If you go on the Claude doc locally, the web, search sessions. Oh yeah, it's called sessions. How do I get to session? Oh wait, those are coding sessions. I don't know how you do it with just regular chat. So I basically use Sonnet for all my chats and Opus for all the code. So describe what we want. Alright, we need to make sure that when Claude finishes a feature, we want it to create a commit, but the commit style has to be of conventional commit. Conventional commits are basically commits that are descriptive and it follows a standardized pattern of like, let's say if the work you did was for adding a new feature, you'd put feat and then you'd talk about what the feature is and the changes. Or if you did refactoring, you would put refactor : and then what exactly you refactored. Stuff like that. Okay, now how about like at your job, branch organization, the tagging. For our branch names, what we usually do is just put the Jira ticket number, but we're not going to have tickets. In this case, we need to revive it. Let's do a structure. Let's do this. If it's a new feature, if it's a feature we're working on, we want it to be like feat/feat name. Okay, so you know we need to keep track changes going into QA and main. We version tag only things going into QA with a tag descriptor. Let's say we will do version tagging when we push things to QA. And then we will also do another version tagging when we push things to production, but it needs to be distinguishable. Should that not be a CI/CD rule? It's probably gonna make changes to the CI/CD stuff because I'm gonna tell it make changes to MD and make changes to our CI/CD rules as well if necessary. Okay, that's good. See, this was a good session, huh? Mm-hmm. This is how we need to be recording these, not just giving updates. We need to do it live and direct.
Okay.
Wait, I don't get this. If a commit introduces a breaking change, API contract change, DP migration that drops data. So this is an example of it's going to push something that could potentially break something else that needs to be fixed.
This might be contradicting it because we are gonna have tests before anything breaks. So we'll see.
No, I get what it's trying to say. It's trying to say like if we need to, this is a change that requires something else. Like if we need to drop a column from the database, this change is going to reflect that, but we need to make sure.
So should we have Claude make fixes for breaking changes then? Or we should also have like some document in the it's just sitting somewhere in our repo that Claude makes like updates to, or maybe for breaking changes, we could have Claude use GitHub to build issues that we could look at. But I have a feeling Claude will just fix everything.
Wait, we should utilize that issue thing. Can Claude create issues for us based on a document I give it? How can we do that?
Like right here.
No, like if I have a list of tickets for a sprint I want to add to here, how do I make it automatically create issues based on the things I give it? Can it do that or no? This is gonna be freaking such a sick workflow. I already can picture it. I already have on the side a sprint categories and what items need to be completed per sprint. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that into a file that we can parse into GitHub for issues. And then we can probably create another workflow.
Oh, okay, there we go. I was talking about this earlier. Claude makes a change log. It keeps a change log.
Where does that get saved?
Git log.
Oh, we also need to add something saying if we decide to push dev into QA, it needs to summarize the changes for us.
Wait, let's read this first. Add a job that validates commit message format on every PR.
Okay, a commit formatting. So this is to ensure that conventional commits are being used.
We're gonna add this to YAML. Okay. I mean, do we need to validate the commit messages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case we don't push real code. Or like it's not pushing code and Randy pushes something. So this junior dev needs to understand the idea behind tagging and releases. So the reason why we want, let me see that. Why I suggested that we have releases and tag versions is so that we can keep track of batches of features that are being released. So now you might be thinking like, oh, isn't the workflow push a feature to dev, review it, push it to QA, review it, push it to production, review it, right? But instead, what the current workflow should be doing is going based off what our sprint is. So let's say our sprint is telling us, okay, let's release these 5 features, right? So once these 5 features are in dev, that's when we decide we want to push these 5 features to QA. So these 5 features in QA would be version 1.0-QA, which indicates sprint 1. And then if we push mid-sprint, we can do version 1.5,
So it's version control.
It's not version control almost, but it's just to keep track of what features were released when.
Okay. If we do not want to create the tagging ourselves manually, we're going to have you create the sprints, right? And then we're going to tell Claude, based on the sprints,
if all these features has been pushed, that's a new version.
And we're going to tell Claude to tag it itself.
And then if we need to resolve bugs or do chore work, that's when it does like version 2.5, 2.1, 2.3, 2.4.
Okay, so here.
Claude prepare sprint setup. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see this. Before each sprint starts, you give Claude a dump of the sprint plan.
Copy and pasted.
Yeah, GitHub. Add this to Claude MD. Let's read it. Sprint setup. At the start of each sprint, Claude creates the GitHub milestone and issues. Oh, I like that. Alright, yeah, so that was basically our day. Setting up more skills and setting the main root Claude file.
Oh, we're going to create a new skill.
We also came up with the name for our application. and I also did some UI UX work. I created a whole guideline on what we need to implement, how many pages we need to create per feature, and I also learned about micro interactions. So yeah, still gotta figure out what the branding should be like, color schemes, fonts, etc. But we are making some real progress, huh? Alright, sorry this vlog might be extremely long, but we want it to be as raw as possible. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Any last words? Bye bye, this time for real.